Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the SMA Journey 51 series. So yesterday, I did part 1 of this video where I answered questions 1 through 5. And these were questions that you guys sent me regarding getting to know me a little bit better, more on a personal level. And along with that, some of you asked some more questions with regards to the Spinraza treatment. So today I'm going to finish up the video by doing part 2 where I answer questions 6 through 10. So sit back and enjoy, and let's get started. Okay, so question number 6 goes on to read, what types of government assistance are there for those with SMA who do not work and for those with SMA who do work? Now, whenever I was in college, I was receiving what they call SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, and I got this through my local Social Security Administration. SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, really was a check that I received every month, and I could use this money to help pay for expenses such as college and books and tuition, or van expenses, or really any expenses that I need. And even though the check was a rather small amount, it did help out in many instances, help pay for some of my college education. Now, once I got out of college, I called the Social Security Administration and told them that I'm out of college and that I had a job and I was making a certain amount of money. So once they found out that I was making as much money as I did once I got out of college, I was no longer eligible to receive SSI. Now, after my working career ended and I went on permanent disability, I called the Social Security Administration and I was informed that I then qualified for what they called SSDI, or Supplemental Security Disability Income. So those of us that are on permanent disability may not receive SSI, but we will be eligible and qualify for SSDI, or Supplemental Security Disability Income. So basically what they did was they took my last 5 years that I worked for Mobil Oil and they based my monthly payments on the amount that I made over those last 5 years. So again, what I would recommend you doing is calling your Social Security Administration office and tell them your situation and find out whether or not you qualify for either SSI or SSDI. Again, this is going to be something that you'll also need to consult with your doctor about. Some doctors will say that you are permanently disabled, and some doctors may say that you're not. So again, this is going to be between you and your doctor and the Social Security Administration. Now, for those of you that live outside the United States, most, if not all countries, have disability laws to protect you. So contact your local governmental office and find out what you may qualify for in the country that you live in. Okay, so question number 7 goes on to read, I am currently working, and due to my income, I get no government assistance. Maybe there's something I should be taking advantage of. Okay, now this is really a great question because what a lot of people don't realize is that spinal muscular atrophy falls under the family of diseases as do muscular dystrophy. So what I did was I called the Muscular Dystrophy Association and I found out that I was eligible for certain equipment here for my house that I could use in my daily activities. Let me give you an example. I've got an electric hoist that gets me out of my chair and gets me into bed or helps me get in and out of the shower. But the problem is if the power ever goes out in my house, this hoist will not work. So I contacted the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and because I've got SMA and it falls underneath the same category of diseases, I was eligible to receive a Hoyer lift, which is a lift that a family member or my caregiver can use in case the power goes out in my house. So they brought me the Hoyer lift, and I'm able to use it as long as I need, as long as I've got my disease and as long as I'm still medically confined to a wheelchair. They'll let me use this Hoyer lift at no cost. And you can also get shower chairs and some other adaptive equipment for your house. So if you haven't checked into the Muscular Dystrophy Association, I would definitely call and find out because you may be able to get some equipment that'll make your life a lot easier. Another thing that you can do with regards to assistance is, as I answered in the previous question, call your local Social Security Administration and ask them what benefits that you may qualify for. Even though you may call the Muscular Dystrophy Association and they may help you get some adaptive equipment, the Social Security Administration may be able to tell you of some other services that are available to you in your particular area that you live in. Okay, an example of that would be that there may be some social groups that you could get involved with, and there may be some other financial opportunities that will help you around your house and really just to make your life a little bit easier. Now, those of us that have SSDI, or Supplemental Security Disability Income, even though we're on permanent disability, we are still allowed to work and make up to $1,000 a month. Now, that's what the limit was the last time I checked. They may have changed some of this, but I could, if I wanted to, or if I had the ability to, I could go to work and make less than $1,000 and still qualify for my disability income. But if I made over $1,000 a month, they would then reevaluate me, and I may not be eligible for this. Unfortunately, I'm not able to work, so I do live basically just off of my disability income. But for those of you that may not have progressed as far as me, you may be able to work to make just a little bit of additional income, which may make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so question number 8 goes on to read, vacation planning and ideas for people like us. Well, you know what? If this had been 40 or 50 years ago, this question would have been very difficult to answer. But in today's times, most places are set up for handicapped individuals. Those of us that are confined to wheelchairs have a lot more opportunities now than we would have had, say, years and years ago. An example of that would be if you wanted to fly or if you wanted to charter a plane, you're able to do this because most, if not all, of the airliners are set up to accommodate people that are in wheelchairs. And for that case, really anybody that has any kind of physical disability. I know that whenever I flew, the few times that I did back in the 80s, I would have to transfer out of my wheelchair and sit in one of the seats on the airliner. And typically they made me sit up front, which is called the bulkhead. And then my wheelchair had to be stored within the cargo department of the plane. Now, this caused a lot of problems because whenever I traveled, a lot of the batteries for electric wheelchairs were lead acid batteries. And these batteries had to be taken out of the chair and put in a special containment holder so the acid wouldn't leak out. And then when you got to your destination, they had to take them back out, put them back in your chair, and reinstall them. But today, most people who have electric wheelchairs can use gel batteries, which are a lot easier to use because airliners will allow you to use these on the plane. Some planes will allow you to use your wheelchair as your seat, but this isn't the case for all of them. So you may have to transfer out of your wheelchair, but ways of traveling has gotten a lot easier with regards to being handicapped and being able to get to your destinations. Also, another thing that you can check on are cruise liners. What I would do is contact your local travel agency and tell them that you're in a wheelchair and you want to take a cruise, because a lot of the cruise ships now are handicap accessible. They've got rooms with larger doors that have handicap accessible bathrooms all throughout the ship. So again, traveling in today's time and being handicapped is a lot easier than it would have been years and years ago. So take advantage of this if you've got the money. Unfortunately, I don't, so I don't do a lot of traveling. But if you've got enough money to where you can travel and you are sitting in a wheelchair, basically the sky's the limit. Because everywhere you go now throughout the world, a lot of these places are handicap accessible. What I would do is say you're going to fly from Dallas to California. Call California or call the airport that you're going to be landing at and let them know that you need a handicap accessible vehicle. They'll set up everything for you. So again, traveling shouldn't really be a problem. Again, contact your local travel agency, let them know that you're handicapped, and let them know that you want to travel, and let them do the work for you. I think you'll find out that you can go anywhere you want to go in today's times. Okay, so with regards to questions number 9 and 10, I'm going to combine these into one video. I've got a friend of mine who is a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and he sent me 2 questions that have a little bit of humor involved in it. So instead of doing 2 separate videos, I'm just going to combine it into one. And he sent them to me as a joke, but hey, it's a question and I'm going to answer it. The first one is, will Spinraza make the hair grow on your head? Yeah, he teases me because I've got that nice little horseshoe shape and I'm a little bit bald on top. Actually, I'm pretty well bald anyway on the top. So yes, but you know what they say, that God only invented a few perfect heads. The rest he put hair on. So for the friend of mine who sent me this question, who has a full head of hair, you're not as perfect as I am. Okay, and regarding his second question, it goes on to read, what is your favorite hockey team? Now, this gentleman lives in Canada, and he's a big hockey fan. But I live in the South. I live in Texas. And yes, while we have the Dallas Stars, which are a great hockey team, or at least they were back in the 90s when they won the Stanley Cup, they're not as good as they used to be, but hopefully they're going to get a little bit better. But this guy also knows that I'm a die-hard baseball fan, and my Texas Rangers are the #1 team in my view. So even though I like hockey, baseball is a better sport. So for those of you that live up north, or I'm sorry, for those of you that like hockey more than any other sport, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But baseball is and will always be the #1 sport. If this disappoints you, well, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to deal with it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed me answering these questions. Again, if you've got others, send them to me and I'll do another video. Again, if you like what I have to say, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out my Instagram page, send me an email, or just send me a comment down below this video. If it's a question, I promise I'm going to answer each and every one. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. And until next time.